Hi everybody, Bjorn Baron here. What I have here is a 2007 Polaris Hawkeye that I kind of just picked up, and it was running rich and would foul a plug in about an hour, or it did ride around for a little while and a foul a plug, and it would just backfire and everything else would be horrible. And there's a couple things I want to mention. So the first thing we did always is we took the carburetor off and I rebuilt it and cleaned it up. We never got it running. Kept not running, kept not running, kept not running. I took a tester. It's one of those inline. I don't know where it went. Oh, here. So I have my little tester right here that I put in line. And what I found out, first of all, was I was not getting spark on a regular basis. And come to find out, what I needed to do for that is, here's the CDI, and they say remove the black wire. So I will look to the CDI right here, and here's the black wire. What's kind of neat is that it's actually, if you go in here, you can click a little click, and you can actually pull the wire out. So you don't need to cut it or anything else, but you remove the black wire. Once I did that, I started getting spark again. So now that I had spark, I went back to the carburetor. Carburetor still wasn't working. I still couldn't get it started. Nothing was working. And I spent several days. We took the carburetor out. I have a cheap Chinese one that I put in, and nothing was really working. What? And I said, screw it. And I said, okay, maybe it's the CDI, and I was going to start doing some ohms, and I said, okay, let me put everything back together. When I was doing my testing, I had the air thing off. I had this cover off, and I sometimes had this on or off. You know, I had the throttle body on or off, and nothing was tight. Everything was loose. I put it all together. I put a new spark plug in, and let's see if it will still start on it. I might not be able to do this. Certainly have some rod knock, which I don't like, but I know Polaris is... I've owned 3 Polarises, and I have not heard one without rod knock. So as much as I don't like this sound, and I might try and address it, I'm also not as worried. So yeah, couple tricks. If you work on the carburetor on your Polaris Hawkeye, put it all back together. 100%. All the covers, all these, tighten it down before you test it. The next thing is, if you have ignition, pull this little tiny black wire. You have it coming from the CDI. It goes into here, so where it's going in, you just want to keep that pulled. Are the 2 little tiny things. Also on the carburetor, I know I'm talking a lot, but also on the carburetor, on the bottom, there's a little air mixture screw. From Polaris, it is actually locked, and you can't change it. You can drill it out, which I did do, and I changed the needle. Kind of glad I did, because it was a little bit bent. I have it set at 1.5 turns off of flush. So I went flush, I backed it out 1.5 turns. Then there's a needle in this top thing, and the way you adjust it actually is not by that screw, but you pull this off, and on the inside of here, there's this little tiny screw. Actually, I may even be able to show you. Here, let me see. I can probably show you over here. Sorry, it's long, and we're just kind of walking, but let's see. There it is. This is what I'm talking about. Come on, open up. I'll put you down for a second. So you take off the top here, right there. There's a little spring, and everything else is in that one. And also part of it will be this little tiny screw right here. Or not even a screw, just jet. It doesn't have any holes in it, but it does have a size because it matches up with this right here. and it needs to close things up. What you need to do, if you need to change it from rich to lean or something else, is you move this little tiny clip on the top. Move this clip up or down on this. So when you're setting and you need to change it from more rich or lean, you change that little tiny clip. And that will adjust. That is your adjuster. And you don't even need to take the whole thing out. Like I said, you can adjust that just by pulling off this top cover. Kind of neat. If you need to change that little bottom screw that I'm talking about, let's see, it's literally right here on the very bottom. So it's probably one of the hardest places to get to. Okay. A lot of information. Wish I could go in a little bit more detail about it, but by all means, write a comment if you are in the same boat. Maybe I've figured something out. I'm really looking forward to my girls getting in to use this thing. Thank you, and have a good day.